save a little drink. Let's get right to it. So we're going to start with lecture 1. Again, all that, you know, legal jazz for informational purposes, this, that, and the third. We're going to review all that good shit. Again, man, you know, hopefully you watched my last video. If you didn't, it don't really matter. We're going straight into lecture 1 for the cause. If you ain't prepared like me, then, you know, it is what it is. Of course, you ain't got to flip out, do no wild shit like me. I'm crazy if you ain't noticed, nigga. I do not give a fuck. I be doing shit, and I'm not stupid, nigga. We talking about some badass energy right here. We talking about the real shit. You know what I mean? Again, as I say often, you know what I'm talking about? This is advanced classes, nigga. We on some next level shit. We trying to get straight to the shit. I want the shit. Give me the shit, nigga. Oh, I got the shit. I got the shit. I got the shit. Old school tales from the hood, man. I don't know where the fuck that came from. You know where that came from, man. I'm drinking spirit. Alright, let's get to it. Let's get to it. You see what I'm talking about? Hey. Shout out to Megatron. This nigga just had to get in it. So, you know what I mean? Obviously, y'all see Megatron. Nigga, like I said, I'm prepared, nigga. You got to get through my legions, nigga, of Transformers, bitch. I'm well protected. But anyways, you know what I'm saying? Megatron just had to get on there just in case any of you fuck niggas out there in La La Land decided to watch this video and try to get on some bullshit. Holla at me. Nigga, I'll haunt your dreams, bitch. Anywho, yeah, nigga. Let's get to it. Alright, man, that's enough fun. Lecture 1. We already talked about the introduction. So, yeah, let's just get to it. When social questions are discussed from a spiritual, scientific point of view, this is coming from The Influences of Lucifer and Ahriman, Lecture 1, Rudolph Steiner, Human Responsibility for the World. So in my last video, we talked about, you know, Lucifer, and basically just the different, we didn't talk that much about Lucifer per se, but it was more so, you know what I mean, the difference between Lucifer and Ahriman. These are two totally different niggas. And a lot of the myths of Satan and the devil, a lot of that shit that gets lumped up into the Lucifer shit because most of us, we don't have a broad understanding of other mythologies and other shit. Like even Ahriman, that comes from ancient Persia, not ancient India. So some niggas know about, like, you know, the Brahma and Hari Krishna, Hari Bull. You know what I mean? A bunch of niggas know. I mean, hey, even myself, one of the first things like I gravitated towards, you know, Om Gam Ganapati Nama, Om Gam Ganapati Nama. I got the Shakti mantras, you know what I'm saying? It was like mantras, you know, what can you do when you look for shit that you could do? Hell, I ended up going to the mantras and shit, but that was like ancient India, you know what I'm saying? And of course, you know, you got ancient African because I'm black. You know, some people might go to ancient Germanic, whatever the fuck. But you know, different shit is all I'm saying. But Ahriman is ancient Persia. And it just so happens to predate a lot of the Christianity shit too. So there's that. Alright, so anyways, point is, that was the last video. In this video, you know, again, we had to figure out like the Lucifer shit. Which we may get back to some of that. And best believe, I got the other books here. I got a couple more books. The Western Way by Caitlin and John Matthews. The Western Way. Again, this is something I just random find on Amazon, so I bought it. You know what I mean? When it comes into play, it comes into play. Like, I got something highlighted here, which we shall talk about here in a minute. That's another video I got to do, but just the point is, it says in this book, okay, let me set some of these books down, nigga. And I got to tell you this shit. Copyright, the Native Tradition was first published in 1985. First published in 1985. So back in 1985 is when this book was first published. But check this shit out real quick, because I'm going to talk about it. Right. The first emanations of deity were subtly blended of many understandings of the earth energies whose currents, hold on, my bad, I guess the cottonmouth's getting me that motherfucking fast. Nah, you know what it is. Shit trying to dry up my throat. I'm telling you, man, when you be on your shit, you on your path, you got to take everything. Permeate spirit, with everything. Sure, it's just a dry throat, but it's also something else. You know, why I get a dry throat at this moment when I'm trying to talk to you niggas and whatever else. You feel me? Because something's trying to fuck me up. It's the spirit of something. The Lord of dry throats is after me, nigga. Something. I will fuck that nigga up too by drinking this water. You know what I mean? So anyways, I'm just saying, man. I'm kind of weird, but I'm not. If you on another level that you know I'm on something, I'm on to something here. So I'm just saying, stay vigilant. Always know when you're being under attack or whatever else you want to call it. Don't stay paranoid. Just stay prepared. Anywho, let's get back to it, right? You know what I mean? Of course, they could just be my high ass trying to explain a dry throat, nigga. It could just be cotton mouth. Let's get with it. All right. The first emanations of deity were subtly blended of many understandings of the earth energies whose currents crystallize in the natural features of hill, stream, and tree. Again, this is reading for review, whatever else, out of Caitlin and John Matthews, The Western Way. Page 25. Fire, air, earth, and water were the elder brethren of humankind. Energies to be recognized and greeted with respect. The elementals of life which endowed the earth with power, or Wakanda, as the Sioux Indians called the great mystery of the earth spirits. The foretime was the time for naming and recognition. True naming only comes after true knowing of a thing. While the English language no longer differentiates nouns by gender, many languages distinguish between the maleness and femaleness of things. So we'll just leave that at that. But that's something you get out of this. And again, our main reason I got this book is the old religion, because we get ready to talk about it. So let's go back to Lecture 1, Rudolph Steiner. Lecture 1. And again, this is why we got the book, so we can go in and out of books, so we can get all the studying, and we can do our due diligence, nigga. We can do all of this shit, bitch. Let's get it. Alright, Lecture 1. See how all this shit connects. You gotta be a little bit crazy, because you gotta connect dots, nigga. I'm a little bit nuts. Of course, this the drain. Alright. When social questions are discussed from a spiritual scientific point of view, everything is based upon observation of the evolution of humanity and of what the forces underlying that evolution demand of us now and in the immediate future. It is necessary to survey a rather lengthy period in the life of humanity. As you know, we distinguish the present millennium from other millenniums, the present era from other eras, recognizing that it begins in the middle of the 15th century AD. The reason why I'm using different shits, different words, is because it says epoch, and it's another one of them things. We distinguish the present epoch from other epochs. Most people you might not know, and like I said, just throw in a word that makes sense in your mind and keep it moving. You the nigga that's reading. Nobody really matters. As long as it makes sense, then it makes sense to you. This is the age. There we go. That's what I was trying to think, but I couldn't think of fast enough, so I just threw whatever in there. But as you know, we distinguish our present age from other age, reckoning that it begins in the middle of the 15th century AD. We speak of it as the 5th post-Atlantean age, distinguishing it from the previous age, which began in the 8th century BC and is called the Greco-Latin age, after the peoples responsible for its culture. It was preceded by the epoch of the Egypto-Chaldean civilization. So, even with the help of accessible Egyptian and Chaldean lore, external evidence does not carry us very far back into the history of humanity. You are certainly aware that in the ordinary history of that ancient time, all civilization, all culture in the then known world goes by the name of paganism. Right. Like an oasis, Hebraic culture arises in its midst as preparation for Christianity. But disregarding for the moment this Jewish culture, which differed so fundamentally from the other forms of pre-Christian civilized life. So, let's put to the side for the Jewish shit that differed so fundamentally from the pre-Christian shit. Let us turn our attention to paganism. Its special characteristic may be said to lie in its wisdom, in its deep insight into the things and processes of the world. The knowledge contained in paganism had its source in the ancient mysteries, and although according to modern scholarship it bears a mythical pictorial character, it must be emphasized that all the imagery, all the pictures which have come down to posterity from this ancient paganism are the fruits of profound insight. The fruits of profound insight. So everything they talked about in this pagan shit, even though they try to say motherfuckers is barbaric, and again, back to the big orange book, the devil, all they said it was witchcraft and this and that because motherfuckers had a language of the trees. The trees gave them a language, sounds and shit. That the tree. Anyways. I'm just saying, man. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers knew how to chirp like birds and shit. Which means you could basically communicate just like a bird. You can make bird sounds, nigga. Motherfuckers can make tree sounds. Motherfuckers can make... Oh, man. But, again, all that ancient wisdom, the gift in and of itself, but we don't get to that. So all that ancient wisdom is lumped up under paganism. And Christianity, amongst other things, demonized some of the shit. So, anyways. But that was paganism, right? And all of that shit is profound insight. Again, if the world was flat, how the fuck they make them pyramids and the shit all adds up and lines up and this and that and whatever else? The world was flat, nigga. Or they thought the shit was flat, nigga. And then, all of a sudden these motherfuckers say it's round. But even when they thought it was flat, these niggas still did all this amazing shit like the mounds and whatever else. They still did all this amazing shit lined up with perfectly with fucking the sky and the stars and shit. They did all of this astronomical, mathematical, high-level shit on the flat earth. But it's really round. Anyways, we don't get into all of that. But you get my point, though, nigga. All of that information came from paganism. Recalling the many treasures of this super sensible lore. And again, I'm just reading certain passages and whatever else. We ain't trying to read the whole thing. But we are reading. Recalling the many treasures of this super sensible lore, which we have been endeavoring to bring to light, it would be obvious that here we have to do with the primeval wisdom, a wisdom underlying all thinking, all the perceptions and feelings of those ancient people. Now, this ancient wisdom has one particular characteristic of which sight must never be lost. It has one characteristic on account of which Judaism had to be introduced as a kind of oasis. If this ancient paganism is rightly understood, it will be found to contain sublime, deeply penetrating wisdom, but no moral impulses for human action. No moral impulses for human action. This old pagan wisdom gave one the feeling of being membered into the whole cosmos. So, I know I'm dragging out a couple sentences and this is just beginning and we really do got to get to like the meat and potatoes of this shit. But it's like you got to, I hate to say it, but some people, man, I mean, they never made it. You got to be smarter than a 5th grader. Fuck it. I'm going to say it, nigga. You got to be smarter than a 5th grader. And some motherfuckers ain't make it past the 4th grade. So, I just got to emphasize that shit, okay? All this extra shit we talk about. Again, the Western way, the old religion, they called it Wakanda. All that shit, profound insights. The earth and the air and the water and all of that shit being our ancestors and this and that and whatever else. Well, hell, if you bury niggas in the dirt 6 feet deep and this and that and whatever else, eventually, nigga, the dirt that would decomposes, the niggas decomposes, the actual dirt would be dead niggas. Yes? And we've been on here for millions of years and this and that and whatever else. And, I mean, mud and whatever else. Eventually, dirt would be decomposed. Bones, mud, blood, everything else. Yes. All the animals that die and this and that and carcasses get left over and then whatever else, all the shit that gets shitted out from all the birds and the bees and the flies and whatever the fuck else. Groundhogs, shit too, nigga. All the shit that would make up the dirt. Yes. So, okay, alright, man. I'm fucked up. I hope y'all are having fun like I'm having fun. Matter of fact, yeah. Let's get back to the book. But this old pagan wisdom gave one the feeling of being membered into the whole cosmos. So that's why, we brought up the Western way and the old religion But hold on, we'll see if that comes more into play, and then we'll pull it out. All right, let's just keep reading. Not only did human beings feel safe and secure within the all-prevailing wisdom of the cosmos, but those whom they recognized as the initiates of the mysteries imparted this wisdom in directives for their actives, from morning till evening on given days of the year. Yet neither Chaldean nor Egyptian wisdom contained a single moral impulse. And by moral impulse, we mean a single, this is right, that is wrong. This is right, that is wrong. No, nigga. The moon is in Aries. This could happen, that could happen, that could happen, this could happen. This could be the case, that could be the case. Be aware, nigga. Be conscious, nigga. But what's happening is what's happening, and we just telling you what's happening, nigga. There are no deep-seated emotions in 3 times 4 equals 12. Where's the feeling? Where's the cream filling? Nigga, where's the feeling in that? Ain't no deep-seated, so this is the way of the world. This is how shit works. This is how it goes. Here you go. This is the way the stars turn. This is the way the planets move. This is the way you motherfuckers is born. This is the way the human body works. This is what it is. Make of it, do with it as you will. But anyways, we'll get to that, alright? So why is it that this sublime pagan wisdom, although it contained no moral impulse, was able, for example, in ancient Greece, to come to flower in such beauty of art and grandeur of philosophy? Beauty of art in the Sri Lanka. Even as they talk about like the tree of life and whatever else. You know what I'm saying? Such beauty of art. Check this shit out. Again, this is coming from the book The Inner Spiral, The Outer Spiral. See that shit? The inner spiral as it spirals in. The outer spiral. Oh, see, that's what you get, motherfucker. Always in the way. But you see them pictures? You see this shit? But the beauty of this shit. Hold on, my man. Fuck out my way, bro. Yeah, nigga. You good. You in there. It's all that matters. Yeah, these pictures and shit, bro. I got you, man. I'm gonna look out for you. See if I can find something else to show you. In this old-ass book with yellow pages and shit. But every now and then, shit pops up. They got examples. Fuck it. Oh. There we go. Gnostic cosmology. Gnostic cosmology. Sacred geometry. You know what I mean? Y'all get the point. Sacred geometry. I could have just fucking said that shit. But, you know, this sublime pagan wisdom, although it contained no moral impulse, was able to come to flower in such beauty and art. Alright? If we were to go much further back to a time more than 3,000 years before the Christian era, we should find that together with the promptings of wisdom, there did come a moral impulse, that the moral principles, the ethics needed by these people of old were contained in this wisdom. But a specific ethos, a specific moral impulse, such as came with Christianity, was not an integral part of paganism. A specific moral impulse was not an integral part. You didn't have to have. You didn't have to be good or bad. It wasn't specific. Why was this? It was because through the millennia directly preceding Christianity, this pagan wisdom was inspired from a place far away in Asia, inspired by a remarkable being who had been incarnated. See, shit try to fuck me up saying that, but we're going to get through it, right? This pagan wisdom was inspired from a place far away in Asia, inspired by a remarkable being who had been incarnated in the distant East in the 3rd millennia before Christ, namely Lucifer. Boom. Lucifer. And like I said, get prepared. Let me take a little drink, because if I take one more drink, I'm gonna end up fucking you. So yeah, man, Lucifer. And we get ready to say these names a whole lot, so I hope you are prepared. But these two niggas are bad ass. And by me saying these two niggas, I am talking about these two aspects of your brain. Another sneak book I decided to pull out as this was coming to. I'm thinking, man, I got all these motherfucking books. A lot of this shit ties in. We could spend a lot of time doing this shit, but James Hillman, The Dream and the Underworld. James Hillman, The Dream and the Underworld. Period. In a profound extension of Carl Jung's ideas of the collective unconscious, Hillman goes back to the classical theories in terms of the poetics of mythology. He relates our dreaming life to the myths of the underworld, the dark side of the soul, its images and shadows, and to the gods and figures of death. This leads to a revisioning of a dream interpretation in relation to the psychology of dying. He concludes with a long section on specific dream images and themes as they appear in psychological praxis. The Dream and the Underworld is a continuation and deepening of the thinking begun in the myth of analysis and revisioning psychology and Hillman's many influential essays on archetypal themes. So, fuck it, let's get to it. What is primarily going on in this book, he relates a lot of the dream and whatever else to the lands of the underworld. Even in the Greek myths, which I've got the Greek myths, it's actually called Robert Graves, The Greek Myths. It's a big thick ass book. But again, in a lot of the Greek myths, and even in like Odin, he takes the 1,000-year sleep or the whatever the fuck it is, but these niggas recharge their powers lightweight, like in the underworld. Godzilla, in the movie Godzilla, this motherfucker goes essentially to the center of the earth, but all these motherfuckers go to the underworld to recharge their motherfucking powers, and then they go back to the top of the mountain and or whatever, however the fuck you want to call it. You know what I mean? Hold on, motherfucking book just like jumped out of my hand, nigga. But you get the point here. Hold on, I got you. Grab this book. You get the point. So what he says in this book, a lot of what goes on in this book is that in your dreams are your soul talking to you, because your soul is attached to this body. So there's the ego, and then there's the conscious and the subconscious. Your unconscious mind then tries to speak or talk to you using both of them niggas. Your daytime ego, the shit you see when you awake, and the shit that you think. You know what I'm saying? All of that shit, all of them pictures and whatever else, you know what I mean? They come from your daytime ego. You know, these scenarios, the places you've been, whatever else. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't using the shit from this lifetime, you start using shit from other lifetimes. I'm not going to get into all of that. But the point is, when you dream, if you ain't astral traveling or going somewhere else or whatever else, but a lot of times what happens in most people's dreams, it is your soul talking to you. Your soul. And your soul is not attached to none of this human shit. Period. This human shit. This conscious shit. Whether it's your subconscious or your conscious. Trying to move and groove this and whatever else. Your soul is connected to the all. So in your dreams, a lot of times what's happening is it's your soul trying to speak to you or telling you things, predicting the future, whatever the fuck. But it's using all these different symbols, this, that, and the third, whatever, right? Like, I mean, the gods. It talked about how, what's his name, Zeus. He would get with motherfuckers dressed like an eagle. He had sex with somebody dressed like a, and he came to a chick as a divine bull or whatever the fuck. And, you know, bestiality runs rampant in a lot of these Greek myths. Centaurs and shit. But he had sex with the chick as a bull. That's like how the Minotaur came about, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? So, there's a lot of, you know, and again, I'm not trying to get into it, but I'm just saying, man, the gods, they change forms. They do all kind of shit in those Greek myths and whatnot. So, point is, in your dreams, I got another book, my cousin's wife, she's borrowing it right now, but it's called Dreaming the Divine, and it talks about how, I mean, you know, it could even be like a seashell or a river or whatever the fuck. It don't have to be an actual deity or a goddess or a god that drops down in your dream. They could come to you in so many different ways. Nigga, it could just be a watch on your arm, and if you don't pay attention to that motherfucking red and white and black, and it's shiny, and it's got all the mechanisms, this or whatever else, nigga, that's Shango on my watch, nigga. You know what I'm saying? If you don't recognize, you know, this could be different shit. It could be a chain around your neck. You know what I'm saying? A pendant or something. You know what I mean? And the essence, the energy of that god or that goddess is in that. But that's what you're going to get in your dream. It could actually be the entire place. Like I was saying, like about a river or something or whatever else. You could be in a motherfucking workshop, nigga, and you don't normally work on shit. You don't know nothing about tools and this and whatever. But you around all this iron, all these tools and this and whatever else, nigga. That's some Ogun ass shit. Ogun put you in that workshop. Get to work, nigga. What could be some real intellectual type whatever. Hephaestus, he was the god of some type of it's the first dude that comes to mind. But he created a bunch of shit. There was the god that created, oh man, I'm just saying, man, you know, there are big worker gods. You could be on the battlefield. That's some Ares type shit. Again, it's like some Ogun shit. But you ain't no real, I'm just saying, your dreams represent a whole lot of shit what your soul is actually going through and how it's dealing with all of this human shit. There's no morals. It's just dealing with shit. It doesn't care if it's right or wrong. You know what I mean? One of the things I be saying, this is just a little, you know, thanks for watching OZ the Wizard and you 30 minutes in, nigga. But it's even like kids. You know, I'm just saying, anybody in your dreams could be a representative of anybody or something else, nigga. It could be a certain god or a goddess that wants to invoke a certain deity, a certain energy, certain concept that your soul wants to get through to you, nigga. And it's going to come in the form of this or that or whatever. So you may see your teacher or some hot coworker that you really want to knock off, but it ain't really that coworker that you trying to knock off. What it is about? What is it about that coworker? What is it that you like about that coworker? Is it just because that coworker is sexy? It could be a goddess that's trying to get some dick from you. It could be, you know what I'm saying? Again, even Zeus. It could be a god that's trying to give you some dick and whatever else. So in your dream, it's gonna come to a motherfucker that you gonna get that pussy to. It's going to come to somebody, it's going to come through the form of something or whatever that you ain't even going to hesitate. You're going to go ahead, pull it out and start fucking on that. And then next thing you know, you had you a wet dream or you done came close to busting nuts. So you wake up like, hold on, man, what was this? You don't even know it could be some of this or something like that. There's a book by Donald Tyson called Sexual Alchemy. Do I got Sexual Alchemy? Sexual Alchemy, something like that. But I mean, I'm just saying there's a bunch of books or whatever else talk about incubus and succubus and whatever else. But I mean, you know, who knows what you giving your energy to. But I'm just saying, the motherfuckers in your dream might not really be the motherfuckers in your dream. Who you think you seeing might not be who you think you seeing, because your dream is coming from a different place. It's coming from the underworld. But it's a different place. So if you try to analyze your dreams with your daytime mind, oh, well, a fox means this or a fox could mean that or whatever. That's what it means to your daytime ass, your ego ass, nigga. It don't know, that's not what it means to your soul. It might not be what it means to your conscience. This is where symbolism and whatnot, yes, it comes into play. So you got to understand that shit. Or again, the symbols. But you can't take your daytime thinking and perception and try to understand your motherfucking dreams. Anyway, that's enough about the dreams. But again, the dream in the underworld. That's why we had to go there. The underworld is an entirely different place. You know what I'm saying? And again, when we start talking about the underworld, it's some Lucifer shit. But anyways. All right. So we just gonna keep going. We got to get through this lecture. It's a pretty nice one too. So let's get back. Let's get back to the book. All right. Just as there was an incarnation which culminated in Rudolph Steiner says Golgotha, but we all know, which culminated in the incarnation of Christ in the man Jesus of Nazareth. There was an actual incarnation of Lucifer in far-off Asia. Now, this is what this nigga claims, not me, but this is a nice thinking. Just follow his line of thought, right? So just as much as, sure, Jesus was a real nigga that was born in Nazareth, Lucifer was a real nigga too. Now, of course, we on the advanced level, so keep in mind we talking concepts, which he will get back to. But let's just say it was a real nigga. And I'm even going to go further with that, because movies like I, Robot and I Am Legend, you can already find out. You can already find out. My bad, we in it. You can already find out. Let's keep going. Alright. Even Christianity was understood at first by the only means then available, namely the old Luciferic wisdom. And we've already pointed out, by Luciferic wisdom, we talk about all that old pagan shit. Which is why we had to go through the story of Lucifer as far as his myth and this or that and whatever else and what he did. You see what I'm saying? Because the Watchers is a different set of motherfucking angels, and they did different shit. But Lucifer and what he did, even again, the knowledge and shit that they did, that the God didn't want them to know. Eat this and ye shall be as gods. You see what I'm saying? He came down and gave them the apple from the tree of knowledge. There you go. That's what it is. But if they saying that it was Lucifer that did that shit, you see what I'm saying? He gave them ancient wisdom. The gift in and of itself, the apple itself, ain't bad. Like I said, nobody blames the fucking tree or gets mad at the apple for being a fucking apple. Why didn't you turn into a pear at the time when this motherfucker was getting bited? Or why didn't the apple just suddenly go rotten when Eve touched it? Because the apple should have knew better. Don't the apple got consciousness too? Oh, but the apple ain't at fault here, man. Ain't nobody saying nothing about the apple. That ain't the apple's fault. I'm fucked up. Of course, you know, that's what happens when you drink spirits and whatever else come through you. Maybe Lucifer's pissed. And I ain't trying to say Lucifer's moving through me. I'm just saying, man, we ain't gonna get into that. Let's get back on the track. Let's get back on track. But I'm just saying, the gift in and of itself is not a problem, nigga. Nobody got mad at the apple. You know what I mean? But because this nigga gave him the apple, it gave him divine knowledge. So you see what I'm saying? Ancient wisdom. Lucifer shit. And again, Lucifer was kicked out. But anyways. But he was created first. Anyways. All right. In order that the Luciferic inspiration might be lifted away from its one-sidedness, there came the incarnation of Christ, and with it the impulse for the education and development of European civilization and its American offshoot. But since the middle of the 15th century, since the impulse for the development of individuality, of personality, has been at work, this phase of evolution has also contained within it certain forces whereby preparation is being made for the incarnation of another super-sensible being. Just as there was an incarnation of Lucifer in the flesh and an incarnation of Christ in the flesh, so, before only a part of the third millennium of the post-Christian era has elapsed, there will be, according to Rudolph Steiner, in the West, an actual incarnation of Ahriman in the flesh. Now, humanity on earth cannot escape this incarnation of Ahriman. It will come inevitably, but what matters is that people shall find the right vantage point from which to confront it. So, it will happen inevitably. Let's get back to the Big Orange Book real quick for a few minutes. And what the fuck is Ahriman? Who the fuck is Ahriman? You know what I'm talking about? And like I said in the last video, man, this is where you understand, like, you have the angel, the extreme good, and this and whatever else. Well, you know what I mean? Nigga, I'm just saying, there's no neutral in this nigga. It is extremely positive. You know what I'm saying? That you shouldn't withhold this back or withhold some of that back or this or whatever. Or even if it's, you know what I'm saying, I'm supposed to bow down to this nigga, but I got all this type of wisdom and this and whatever else. If this nigga is better than me, then let's see what this nigga do with all this wisdom. Here you go. Eat from the tree of knowledge, nigga. And let's see what the fuck you do. You're supposed to be better than me. But the thing is, Lucifer has all good, like, so to speak. I don't want to say that pride. Well, the pride is the pride. But even if it's just something that's misunderstood, and of course it comes across as pride because there's no fold on that. Just can't understand that. But again, the nigga that's at the top, there is no fold. If you go to the extreme, again, it's when you pull this motherfucker all the way as far as it can go, that nigga at the top is not even in the slightest. The nigga right up under him might be slightly this, slightly. But this nigga over here is none in the slightest. Just like when you dip and you go over there, you may get slightly. But no, but the nigga all the way at the top is none in the slightest interested in that shit. None at all. None whatsoever. You see what I mean? It's like Lucifer had to come first because he told niggas everything. Christ, just like the Lord, and the nigga, the God or whatever the fuck, at the highest of the middle shit, is like balanced. Well, I'm going to give them some shit, but they can either figure it out or don't figure it out. But they don't need to know everything. But that nigga is like extremely motherfucking balanced. You know what I'm saying? But first niggas had to know everything. Then you balance shit out versus the nigga that ain't gonna want you to know nothing. Don't want you to know nothing. The Lord of Lies, I'm gonna tell you a lie, everything. 2 plus 2 is 5.892, nigga. Yeah. Straight up. No. 2 plus 2 is 5.892, bro. You don't know how to add it up. See, when you add 2, and then, you know what I'm saying, you put the plus. See, plus comes with equal numerical value of 1.892. So you can't just say 2 plus 2. You got to say 2 plus 2 and then equals, that's how it equals, that's how it is, bro. That's how it equals 5.892. You know what I'm saying? 2 plus 2, the 2 and the 2 is 4, but when you add the numerical value of the plus, you know what I'm saying? Because otherwise you just say 2, 2. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't say 2 2s, you say you got to say 22 or 222. You know what I'm saying? 2 2. It's like literal. That plus has a numerical value too, bro. So you got to add that in. Niggas is a dick like that. But I'm just saying, man. Niggas gonna lie to you every time. Ain't gonna be all type of intellectual shit. See, that nigga just do that all my shit. Gonna lie to you every time. Statistics and this and that can always be played with. And if you a nigga that don't know, it could always, you don't do your own research, your own scientific method on certain shit. You just don't know. But that's the Ahriman shit. Lord of Lies. So, in the back of the index, like we did on the last shit, hold on. We gotta go get the charger, bro. We don't want this, we don't want this shit to die on us. Let's go get the charger. Quick pause for me. Quick break. Quick pause for you calls. Before I pull that back out, for real, I'm over here talking about art and shit. And while I was taking my little break, having my little smoke, check this shit out. Look at this art. Now, how dope is that? Again, pagan wisdom. This, that, and the third. But you see that shit right on the book, front of the book, The Western Way, by Caitlin and John Matthews. Right in the front of the book. But you see that shit? Look at that shit. Now this is what rips me. You see the water, right? I'm looking at it like H2O. On both of them. H2O. But you got the fire and the air, which basically kind of fuel each other. I'm just saying, you got the fire and the air over here with the man, and you got the water and the earth over here with what's perceived as the woman. So, maybe it's just me. That's why it kind of sucks using white people. But look, that don't look like no woman. Does that look like a woman to you? Just like a nigga without a beard. But we ain't gonna get into that. That's back to the Iceman's inheritance, sexual dichotomy and shit. We ain't gonna get into that. I ain't gonna go no. I ain't gonna start rolling on that shit. But yeah, I just was talking about ancient art and whatever else, and look at all the wisdom and shit in that picture. Man, that's dope. You see the lion on the one end, the stag on the other, and then look up in the trees. Phoenix on one end, over there with the man coming out of the fire, and then what's perceived as like an eagle or a falcon, some type of character over there with her. When you blend this one, the eagle or whatever, with that lion over here, you get like the griffin. Man, I'm just saying, there's so much wisdom contained in these two motherfuckers. When you blend them together, you get the griffin. Man, there's so much wisdom in this ancient pagan whatever the fuck. So there you go. There's that. But let's get back to the book. Picking up where we left off. Where I left off, because it was just a blink for you niggas. But anyways, picking up where I left off, right? It says there will be Ahriman in the flesh. And it was like, well, who the fuck is Ahriman? So, that's where we come to the big orange book. That's what we were doing. So we go back to the index, man. We go to the index and we look for Ahriman. The first page Ahriman shows is 58. That's the very first one, 58. Who is Ahriman? Where the fuck did he come from? Again, ancient Persia, as I already mentioned, but let's go to this shit real quick. Ahriman. Because that's the point. We trying to research some shit. We on our research, right? So, all right. Damn. the coincidence of opposites is sometimes expressed by the notion of the war in heaven. Often one set of gods, having been deposed by a younger generation of deities, is then considered evil. The Christian made demons of the gods of Greece and Rome. The Olympic gods transformed the Titans into evil spirits, and the Teutonic gods vanquished the giants. In the earliest times, Indo-Iranian religion had two sets of gods. The Asuras. In India, the Asuras. In Iran, the Ahuras. And the Devas or Divas. Right? The Ahuras or Asuras and Devas or Divas. You feel me? In Iran, the Ahuras defeated the Devas. The leader of the Ahuras became the high god, Ahura Mazda, the god of light. The Iranian Devas, consigned to the ranks of evil spirits, became the minions of Ahriman, the lord of darkness. In India, the Devas, the Devas, defeated the Asuras. In one sense, the results in India were opposite from those in Iran. In a deeper sense, the process was very similar. One group of deities was vanquished by another and relegated to the status of general evil. So, that's where Ahriman comes. The God and the devil exist and work together from all eternity, or they are brothers. Alright? In Western religions, the God and the devil have moved into almost absolute opposition, yet the myths of many societies place them in close conjunction. The God and the devil exist and work together from all eternity, or they are brothers. Or the God creates the devil, or in an even closer relationship, the God begets him or produces him from his own essence. The devil is the God's son. So, as we said before, Lucifer, the bearer of light, is not mentioned. This was in the introduction in this one book. That was in the introduction, I do believe. You know, Lucifer comes from the Latin meaning bearer of light. But in the New Testament, the mantle of bearer of light is taken over by Jesus Christ, the Son of God. Are you niggas catching this? Do we? I hate that you had to go 43 minutes, you know what I'm saying? But that's how this shit works. If you a deep nigga, you're going to go deep into the video. So I appreciate that shit. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and don't do none of that shit. Keep running high. And thank you for making it this long, man. OZ the Wizard, I fuck with you. So, again, man, thank you so much on so many levels. But, yeah, you see what I mean? Here you go. The God and the devil exist or work together from all eternity. Like I said about this book, Lords of the Left-Hand Path. Dude, straight up, the right-hand path, there could be no good without evil. How would you know what good is unless you knew what the fuck evil was? So, as far as that level of thinking, a God or a good side or whatever, you know what I mean? It has to have a bad. It has to have an opposite side. They can't be one and the same. It can't just be, this is natural law. This is what it is. This is the law of the lay of the land, you know what I mean? Or survival of the fittest type shit. This manifest destiny. Can't just be that. I don't know. But anyways, you get the point here. The struggle between polar opposites can be stressed in the ambivalence of traditional deities. The great gods of India, such as Kali, Shiva, and Durga, manifest both benevolence and malice, creativity and destructiveness. Another expression of the two faces of the god is in the myths of closely united yet adversary deities. Always the doublets are opposites. Always on a deeper level, they are the same being. In the agonized womb of consciousness, these polar twins are continuously struggling. They are the good and the evil manifestations of one's personality. They are the good and evil manifestations of one's personality. So again, your conscious and your subconscious, the unconscious, don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Your soul don't give a damn. Don't give a damn. Your soul don't give a fuck. Your ego is attached to this shit. You gonna die when you die. There's no more motherfucking John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith, nigga. There's no more your gun. There's no more Akeem. There's no more none of that shit. No more Rashad, nigga. There's no more Jeremys, no more Justins, no more Dre's. No more you niggas. You know what I mean? There's no more. No more Tims, no more Toms. You dead. You know what I'm talking about? And then your spirit can float around, sure, whatever. Your spirit is linked to this shit too. The idea of you, the thought of you. Motherfuckers remember your name and this and that. Your spirit, yeah, sure, still be here. Your soul, moving the fuck on, nigga. We gone. On to the next one. Soul is a totally different thing. Anyways, alright. That's enough of me fucking around. You know, I've been smoking, I've been drinking. So excuse my language. Oh, no. Let's go some more, a little more Ahriman. So that just lets you know what I'm saying, who Ahriman was, the Lord of Darkness. That's the first time Ahriman gets mentioned. But again, the Lord of Darkness, and this was from way back. So let's go get another one. It says 104 through 121. Damn, that's like a whole section. They must be talking straight up about this nigga. So 104 through, oh yeah. Parthian goddess, Persia, 1st or 2nd century AD. Fertility deity. Horns of power and whatever the fuck. Okay, so the devil, east and west.